Hi children, in this class let us see the mode of transmission of HIV. How HIV is transmitted from one body to another body is called the mode of transmission. In the previous class we have seen the structure. One important thing you have to keep in mind, found attached to the single stranded RNA, there is a reverse transcriptase enzyme. I have told, don't forget that. This HIV after this is capable of surviving 1.5 days. 1.5 days inside the cell it can live. When it comes outside the cell, it survives for 6 hours. 6 hours only it survives outside the cell. But inside the cell it can be able to survive for 1.5 days. This is another important information you have to keep in the mind. This HIV is transmitted through unsafe sexual measures, then through blood transfusion, through needles, through razors, through cuts and wounds. This HIV gets transmitted from one body to another body. Only through blood or only through body fluids it can be transmitted from one body to another body. Most of the HIV transmission is through the unsafe sexual measures. Once it enters into the body, it finds its way into macrophages. Macrophage is not the permanent cell in the body. There are 5 types of WBC we know. Among that, the monocytes and neutrophils club together become macrophages. At the time of necessity or according to the need, few of the WBCs clump together become a large cell called macrophage. HIV enters into the macrophage. After entering into the body of macrophage, using the reverse transcriptase enzyme, the RNA is converted into DNA. That is the first action. After entering into the macrophage, RNA of HIV gets converted into DNA with the help of the enzyme reverse transcriptase. Once it is converted into DNA, it gets incorporated with the DNA of the macrophage. Found attached with the macrophage, countless copies of viral DNA is produced in the macrophage. Then macrophage will be lysed. By bursting the macrophage, many of the viral DNA, HIV DNA comes out, each of which find its way into a new macrophage, then increases in number within a very short duration. Then those viral DNAs may attack the helper T cells also. Helper T cells play a very significant role. They activate the B lymphocytes for the production of antibodies whenever the antigen comes in. This HIV progeny is damaging, destroying all the helper T cells of the body, so that helper T cells are absent. They will not stimulate the B lymphocytes. When B lymphocytes are not stimulated, no antibodies will be produced. This is the way by which reduction in the immune power takes place. When all the helper T cells are damaged or destroyed by the HIV, no immune power, no resistant power will be produced by the body, so that the body will become susceptible for the attack of all the possible microbial infections. AIDS itself not a killer disease. It may paved the way for possible infections. It gives way for the other microbial infections to the body, so that the body is subjected to death. So that the word syndrome is used. Right? The detection of HIV is by two possible tests. We call it as AIDS diagnosis. AIDS diagnosis include two tests. One is the ELISA test. Enzyme linked immunosorbent assay is the expansion of ELISA. This is said to be the preliminary test. Whether the blood contains HIV or not is found by ELISA test. But for the confirmation of AIDS, there is another test called Western blot. Western blot is the permanent or confirmatory test. We call it as confirmatory test. Even ELISA may give the wrong information, but to know whether we have AIDS or not, we should undergo Western blot test. If the Western blot result is positive, the person is having AIDS. If the Western blot is negative, the person is not having AIDS. So that this is the confirmatory test for the detection of HIV. There is no cure for AIDS, as I said already. So prevention is better than cure. So what are all the possible ways by which we can prevent the entry of AIDS virus in the body? We can. Once it approaches, the symptoms are very dangerous. The body becomes weak. We call it as emaciation. The thinning of the body, sudden weight loss by 10%, night sweats, continued cough, insomnia, sleepless nights, candidiasis, tuberculosis. Like more than 10 systems are there for AIDS. In your lower class itself, you might have studied the dangerous systems. All the possible symptoms will be shown by the AIDS patient, right? So, how to prevent? Undergo proper sexual measures. Proper sexual procedures. Then disposable cylinders, disposable razors. Even during the blood transfusion, thorough check over the blood. Everything will be the precautionary measures. Once AIDS approaches, we may prolong the duration of life, but we cannot safeguard the life. There is a medicine called acetylthymidine. Acetylthymidine is prescribed for AIDS. It may extend the life, but it cannot safeguard the life. So, NGOs, non-governmental organizations, NACO, National AIDS Control Organization, WHO, World Health Organizations have recommended the precautionary measures to protect the body from the infection of AIDS. We have to follow those measures and safeguard our body from the infection of AIDS. With this, we conclude the AIDS as an immunodeficiency disease. Thank you. Thank you so much.